Good afternoon. George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds. Well, I hope you saw yesterday's video. High in the bonds, 132.24. I don't know what happened last night on the Globex Open, but we saw some pretty big buy-in going on. Heard a couple stories, like some Japanese hedge fund unwinding some big positions, and some stories out of China about them setting up sort of quasi-governmental bad bank to grab all these poor loans on their banks' portfolios, things like that. Bonds and notes rallied quite aggressively in the opening on heavy volume. A lot of rollover effects going on. Volume in the 10-year today, 2.03 million contracts. It's big. From what my old floor buddies are telling me, we roll to the March contract on Thursday night Globex opening. Basically Friday morning for most traders when we come in. It'll be March, will be the front month contract depending on your platform. Mine won't roll until Monday. I know my partner John here, one of his platforms rolled today to March. So everybody's a little different. I'm still looking at the D's contracts. We're poking around some pretty important resistance levels right now. If you look back, I think November 20th was the FOMC minutes. The high in the 10-year, 127.02 plus. Remember how the market whipped on that day? We rallied and then broke hard. Well, we got up to 02 plus. That was an important fib retracement at the time. Today's high is 02. Bond high that day was 132.25. Today's high was 132.24. If you look at a daily chart, that's also sort of the bear trend line off of the recent highs. So kind of an important retest here. Depending on how you draw your trend lines, this is the third time we're back up at these levels. Will they hold? Basically 4 days straight up, bonds and notes, even though it's been difficult. If you look at the 10-year note on an hourly basis, and as the market's rallied here, we've made new highs by 1 or 2 ticks. I think the biggest new high was 5.5 ticks. And then we've had sharp pullbacks of like 61% of the previous little rally. So we'd make a higher high and then retrace, 2/3 of that rally almost immediately. Well, today or last night we made the higher high, and then this morning we retraced the whole rally. I think the rally started in the 10-year at 20.5. This morning's low was what, 21.5? Yeah, so it's getting to the point where maybe we're a little bit overbought when you start seeing the market retracing that much of the previous rally and then going on to make new highs by only a couple ticks. What was it? Last night's high in the 10-year was 31 plus. Today we got up to 02. So what's that? 2.5 tick new highs. I'd like to see the market make some significant new highs and not retrace so much of the rally every time. I think a lot of this change in these markets is obviously algorithmic programs driving these moves. That's not human nature to go back and retest those previous lows as frequently as we are. Or the market is telling us that this rally is still somewhat corrective and not impulsive, which is a possibility. I'm not sure which way to lean on that. My distrust and lack of sense of fairness to these HFT guys, these algorithmic programs, he who has the fastest computer wins. I don't think that's the way things are supposed to work in a fair market. Remember the old RB&H jackets on the floor? They used to have those patches that said free markets for free men. God bless them. I wish I had one of those jackets still. But, alright, what am I looking at now? We have, like I said, those highs from November 20th at 132.25 and 127.02 plus. If we get above there, then we've got the highs from a couple weeks ago at 127.05 plus and 133.04. Hold on. 133.10, sorry. And those are big areas up there too. Those are big, not only are they old highs, they're like big fib retracements of the whole sell-off that we've been seeing over the last month. So kind of keep those levels in mind. Tomorrow is a big cycle day. These days before holidays are always interesting. Regular Globex trade tomorrow. I think the pits close early, but that doesn't matter. It's pretty much all Globex anyway these days, guys. The pits are there for options and maybe some of these spread trades. From what I've noticed, a lot of the spread trades now are even being done on the screens, the roll stuff. So, okay, downside, today's lows, obviously key support, 126.20 half to 21 half on the 10-year, 130, what was it, 132.05. 132.04, somewhere in that area. Those are key support areas. I don't want to see the market start taking those lows out if this bull move is going to continue. Remember, big cycle day tomorrow. Got to be on your toes. The day before holidays, day after holidays, there's always big moves. A lot of trend changes occur in different markets on those days too, guys. So don't let the idea that it's a holiday and, the markets are going to be quiet lull you into a sense of complacency here. At least not until after you start eating the turkey on Thursday. So, have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.